a bit too cheap to get another one of these adjustable dumbbells, but this will work just fine. So I've been a software engineer working remotely for the past 3 years now, and recently I've been reminiscing about what work could look like if I went back into the office. And for those who are new here, hi, I'm Andrew. I'm a software engineer working in big tech, and it's been 3 years now since I started working remotely. But as I mentioned before, I think the idea of going back to the office has been on my mind recently. The idea of physically going to the workplace, having your own desk, collaborating with your team members was what I was looking forward to as a software engineer, going into the office. And honestly, I've only experienced working in the office once for an internship back in 2019, and I really enjoyed that experience. I do want to mention that I only go into the office maybe a few times a year, which barely counts in my book. So in this video, I want to share with you guys a few things that has been on my mind about going to the office and why I miss it a little bit, but ultimately at the end of the day, why I choose remote work. Let's be honest, the first thing that comes to mind when I think about the office are the free snacks and drinks. And I'm not embarrassed to admit that that's what I miss the most. The office also has a cafe where baristas would make drinks for free, and nearly every floor is stocked with a mix of snacks and drinks to choose from. There was a time where I brought a completely separate backpack just to stuff it with as many snacks and drinks as I could. Then there's the workspace itself. No assigned seating meant I could claim any spot I wanted, and I usually go for the spot with the most natural light. Once it hits the afternoon, I switch it up and find a more comfortable spot on the couch. But what I actually miss the most is the human working environment. A cafe is the best example of this. Everyone's focused, typing away in their own productive bubble, but everyone's a part of a collective culture. Even when people aren't actively talking to anyone, there's this unspoken connection and vibe that's pretty special. Maybe this is just a sign for me to work from cafes more, but I realize I prefer this sort of working environment. So when it comes to remote work, there are two big things that I think is a big benefit to your life. First one being the flexibility it gives you, and the second one being the focus on health and wellness. So obviously I don't have to commute for work, and that gives me hours back into my day to focus on my hobbies or to just even have more time to relax. And in terms of working from anywhere, I personally have a restriction. I can only work in the state of California, but like I mentioned in my previous videos, I try to take advantage of that by working and living out of my car as I travel around the state of California. But I'm putting that on pause right now because I don't have a car at the moment. I do plan on traveling and working around California more in the future. But another big thing I benefit from working remotely is that I get to focus on my wellness and health. And that means that I can just quickly grab my meal prepped food for lunch rather than spending some money on eating out whenever I'm in the office or eating some unhealthy food that I packed. I also love going on walks around the neighborhood throughout the day. That just helps me reset my mind and get some steps in because I'm usually stuck at my desk throughout the day. I actually really enjoy working outside and just posting up a seat here, and I just have a quick camping chair here. It's just another way for me to get some sunlight in, and overall it just makes the working experience a lot better. I don't have to always be, inside a building to do some work. It feels pretty nice just to have that flexibility. So I was able to set this up just a few days ago, but just like how the office has snacks and drinks, I wanted to have my own space of snacks on my own. This table is actually a camping table, which I was going to use for car camping. Here I have some Fairlife, some protein bars, and some protein cookies, some other snacks here, and some wipes here to clean up after I make a mess. This microwave I got for car camping, but I've been using it recently to reheat some food or some desserts, so it's been pretty handy to have so far. And down here is the car fridge. I don't have anything in here at the moment, but I do plan on getting a variety of drinks to put in here. So I made some progress on my app. And for those who don't know, I'm creating an app to help me programmatically upload my YouTube videos. Once I make bigger changes and build out the feature more, I'll share with you guys a demo on how it looks like. But to be honest, I'm pretty close to where I want it to be. I'm not trying to make it look too fancy. I'm just trying to build the bare bones of it and the functionality, and then maybe afterwards just focus on the styling and the UI. So once I have this done, it will be a big part of my workflow and it will save me many hours. And so this project has been my main priority because of how much value it can bring. So as I mentioned before, I think working remotely is such a big perk and I wouldn't give it up so easily, especially considering how much time it gave back to me to do other things in my life. But even if I do get laid off, I feel like I would search for another remote job just so that I can keep up with my current lifestyle and get all the benefits as I had before. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you learned something. I'm just going to continue working on my project and I'll see you in the next video.